kind of trade pretty decently here too, though.
Yeah, it's not too bad in the laning stage. I think the big advantage is the attack range with Alina, right? Like it's not anymore that the Enchantress has that untouchable pre-ultimate, so you're always going to be able to get some decent trades off there. Of course, if you're out of position even once, that just means the Ench can get one right click off, run away, huge amount of burst damage coming through there. So always having to be a little bit careful, and it looks like it's the Undying coming through for Execration instead. So they're happy to go for this brawly sort of style. Takes it a bit away from Fnatic, but I suppose they'd already had their supports picked up, so not really all that concerned about that being the case. But no real big tomb hitters like Drow. I guess Drow can hit the tomb, and she's all right with it. But
5 seconds remaining.
yeah, I always wants to be in a safe space. He never wants to be in there on the front lines. So area denial seems like the name of the game here for Execration. I feel like their game plan is going to be to try and choke Fnatic into these little pockets of space, and then take these team fights where you can toss the tombstone onto the high ground. And they end up picking the Storm Spirit for themselves. A little bit of a block pick coming out here. But the bonus now for Execration is they know what the enemy mid laner is. They know that they can, potentially go for a direct counter to it, and they're going to opt for the Void Spirit. We've seen many times Void Spirit just straight up beating the Storm Spirit in the lane because of being able to dodge out a lot of this harass that might be coming out from the ranged hero that you might not be expecting.
I don't know how much of a fan I am with the Storm this pick. Like you got Lina and Void Spirit. They're both two Yule's builders. We saw what the Lesh could do last game. That one Yule setup. Storm's incredibly squishy, so if you get caught out, like Execration are gonna kill you. And we've seen how the Void matchup works here.
Fnatic's turn to ban.
I don't want to say it felt a little like they were scared of the Storm Spirit and they're just wanting to make sure that Raven has the easiest game possible, but I don't know, it feels like that a little bit, they're just wanting to make sure that there's absolutely nothing that can stop this Drow Ranger.
10 seconds remaining.
Last pick going to be very important for what is, well, you would assume, the position 1 left to come from Execration. So many pos 1s banned out now. Basically every single one being used. Yep, there we go. The Faceless Void, of course, another one. If you're able to catch the Io inside the Chronosphere, it negates a lot of the effectiveness coming through from that one. So, I mean, what's left? That's the big question that we need to ask. What's going to be able to fight against this Drow, not care all that much?
10 seconds remaining.
PL is one I'm thinking, because they really don't kill illusions, and I do like it versus the Drow. We don't see the hero much, but even then, whenever the Drow is still getting picked up, a lot of the time the Phantom Lance is getting banned. My only worry, if you pick PL, it looks like such a good Underlord game. Already against the Void Spirit, you want this front line, someone to build auras, then it's going to help to kill off the illusions. So I feel like if you go PL, then Underlord's value just gets increased even more.
I'm going to say a Chaos Knight for Execration. They're pretty heavily single target focused right now. Of course, you've got the multi-shot, and Storm can dish out some AoE damage, and it means that Underlord would be a pretty damn high priority. But I don't know, the CK, you can go for something that's a little bit more... I feel like it's not going to be a hard carry regardless. Okay, PL, it's okay. You build the Manta, you were able to get out of the Gust. It's hard for an Enchantress to deal with a PL, to be sure. Same thing with an IO. I think it's fine. Both are good. The what I was thinking on the CK train was get a Blink Dagger, get right in on the back lines, deal with the Drow Ranger that way, and then, the entire Fnatic lineup basically crumbles. But it's going to be a PL. It's a fine pick too.
Fnatic now still really like the Underlord. The Sand King, potentially. It's one of the better ways to also deal with the illusions. Gives them another jump with the Storm. Not the greatest lane with the Io though. Like, no, he's both the Underlord and the Io are not really going to utilize the that overcharge. I guess Underlord a little bit more. So if they were trying to think of someone to play with that, could they bristle? Is that like really out of the realm of possibility here with the Io on their team?
It's not, and it gives them another person that's frontlining, which is all right. Maybe they might even just choose to go, like you mentioned, the Underlord or the Sand King. But the thing is, you want to be able to leave them alone, just not at the very beginning. I think you might even need to change things up, put the Enchantress with them, make sure they're at least able to get up to let's say level 3, and then the Ench can leave the lane. You know, go for a tri lane towards the bottom side. But it's an Ember
Now
Spirit, something
select your
completely
heroes.
different. What are we seeing here? Moon. So it's an off-lane Ember Spirit, huh? I've seen Masaros play some unconventional styles of 3s. Like he's played the Quap, he's played the... Well, Void Spirit's a bit less so, but I cannot recall the last time I've seen an off-lane Ember Spirit. I've seen Pos 4, I've seen mid, I've seen safe lane, not Pos 3.
The only time I think I've seen it was when XXS on Asta. They tried to run it a couple times. Are you a fan of this? You said he can play some unconventional heroes. Is the Ember a little bit too experimental though for this game?
They're a bit squishy, I gotta say that much, you know, and especially when you're going up, sure, you've got the IO for yourself to heal, but I feel like the healing isn't the reason you're picking it. You're just taking it to deal out even more damage with Raven, with that overcharge. So going up against an Undying with a hero that's going to be reasonably hard to kill on Yori's Phantom Lancer, and of course the Slardar, provided your positioning is good, is going to take a little bit of time to kill. So I'm feeling a little bit stronger about Execration this time around.
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan of their draft as well. I think it just outrounds it very well, and usually the Ember is going to be someone who can actually deal with the illusions, but in this position 3, you're not going to have as much farm priority as what you kind of would on the position 2. So I'm intrigued to see on what his item build's going to be, if it will be, you know, the kind of the maelstrom that we see more often to help kill with the illusions, or what's really the play here for Masaros, because he might, like, this Ember doesn't want to go, he doesn't want to tank up though, which is like, because they don't really have someone to tank on the front line, but now you don't really have someone to kill the illusion. So like, well, yeah, I don't know what the item build is. It's a tricky one.
Yeah.
It's tricky. It's they've definitely thrown a spanner in the works here. I don't know how this is gonna end up faring, but you know, Execration, it's a draft that's looking, you know, pretty sound for them. We'll see if Fnatic. I mean, I think Fnatic have, at least the way they can win it is pretty similar to last game, where they just need to run this over and, you know, get on top before the Phantom Lancer really comes online, and you know, that's kind of the big one. If this goes late, I trust the PL, but can he get to that stage?
Rapido, he's actually found out Raven here on the top side. Does he have anything to slow him down? No Orb of Venom or anything like that, but a couple of right clicks will make Raven a little bit annoyed. Might even be forced to pop a Tango earlier than he might like, but that Blightstone's definitely going to come into the equation from BDZ.
The battle begins.
I love some good old tower regen.
It's the extra 1.
Looks like he won't be forced to go for the Tango now just because of that. Should have even run back towards the tier 2. I guess they would have body blocked it, so he couldn't do that for the extra little bit of regen. So yeah, Raven's going to be right. Just the nuisance that they are, and this is going to be a very aggressive lane for Execration up top.
Don't know how good that ward is though that RR just placed down. I think it's just out of range of the power rune. So, oh well, it's unconventional. We can say that much about it. And here we go. DJ's going straight up to this top side on the Enchantress. So, actually sticking together with that. So it's going to be the IO Ember Spirit going together. Can't say I recall the last time this was a lane.
Maybe when they had the dual lanes back together at mid. Well, definitely not in the side lane. And please, my only request in the next patch, don't have dual mid lanes again. Like, just keep it 1v1. Like, that's the most exciting. No one wants to see 2 heroes mid. Just, if anything's gonna happen, keep the 1v1.
I like this. You know, I want to see more. I feel like there's enough potential for tri-lane matchups now, you know. I just want to see level 1 Roche back. That's my big thing. Make it rewarding. Give people the option. I just always love the sneaky plays like that, you know.
Yeah, I think we've you know, both been agreeing throughout the group stages that, you know, Dota feels like it's at its best when a lot more heroes are viable and there's a lot more opportunities that you can, you know, play throughout every game here. It just kind of, you know, it doesn't make it boring, and we can kind of see these, you know, cool new things come out as, yeah, Ara, they get the level 2 on Fnatic's looking to punish there, and Oh, very nicely done. This is the lane, you know, we weren't really expecting with the Ember IO. You know, haven't really seen it in a side lane, and or at least down in the off lane, I should say. And it's well, able to pick up first blood here.
I'm liking it from Masteros and Jabs just because they're using that Flame Guard to constantly push the wave underneath the tower as much as possible. It means they're able to get this pull off. You know, now that you've got the level advantage and the first blood, put the equilibrium a bit more in your favor. But more importantly, when they were going for those trades onto RR, Yori had to focus on trying to get these last hits under tower, and at this low level, you're going to have a lot of difficulty. He ended up missing probably 2 or 3 somewhat easy ones, and yeah, RR ended up going down as well as a result. So good little victories due to these minor plays coming through from Fnatic.
You see Ken's having a pretty decent time with mid lane so far, 15 and 4, a little bit ahead of the Storm Spirit at the moment. And I mean, he's already got his bottle picked up, same with Moon as well. So we're a bit intrigued to see with any rotations coming through by the power runes and how involved the Void Spirit can get across the map, because his level 6 is going to feel just a little bit more impactful than the Storm without really having to rely on having full mana. The Storm does for that ulti to have too much of an impact here.
Yep. Speaking of the Storm, this mid lane has gone probably a little better for Fnatic than Execration might have been expecting. Dead even on the CS essentially, and 2 empty bottles waiting there. So when will the rotation start to come? We can see BDZ is going to see what DJ's up to, gets zapped once by the Harpy Stormcrafter, but he's going to make his way towards that mid lane sooner rather than later.
Raven's got a decent side of the creep equilibrium at the moment, so this might enable DJ to actually help out mid, knowing that the Drow is going to be just CSing under the tower. They will have a double wave coming through in mid lane though. Moon brawling up with Ken at the moment. It looks like he's going to be fine. Jab's even going to TP in. But
BDZ's getting a good amount of harass here onto DJ. He's forced to use the enchant just to be able to run away, and that's going to secure the deny through for BDZ. He might die for it, but
if he can get first kill, please, sir. No, just a swipe a little bit too late. Moon picks it up, and he's also got Ire just, you know, already with the bottle here. So Jabs might even be able to give him a little bit extra health and mana back, considering he wasn't able to pick up that haste. But Fnatic, they got 2 kills at the moment. Oh, mid lane actually, Moon. The Remnant sets up for the LSA. Nicely done. BDZ TP'd in to try and refill the bottle from Ken, and just able to also find a kill. Meanwhile, DJ is just going to deny himself to the top side, but that's a big kill to find here for Execration.
So, 5-minute mark coming up. Yori's going to try his best to contest Masteros, but he's looking pretty healthy. You can see why he wants to max out that Flame Guard ASAP. Means that PL's not really going to be too much of a factor in the early stages, and it's just going to be all about your positioning. Are you going to be able to dodge out a lot of these spell combinations coming through from the Lina? Well, they're going to be attempting to kill this Undying. Jabs, with that low turn rate, finishes it off. He should be okay having the bottle finished up. Although
Still going to end up falling, unable to really utilize the bottle charges there. Masteros does at least get a return kill. Meanwhile, we even see DJ also falling up to the top side there. So 2 deaths there for Fnatic. We see at least for the Ember having a bit of a shining spot so far throughout the lane.
he is, you know, and this is one of the reasons why Masteros was highly sought after. You know, you always want a player that can keep the enemy team guessing. You know, these unconventional styles of, oh, we never expected an Ember Spirit offlane to come, because really, who does? And yeah, it just means that you're keeping them guessing, opens up the draft a hell of a lot, and it's going to be really valuable once this new patch starts to come into effect.
See, Raven, gotta be careful here as well. They do know around about where he is with the volleys. Now BDZ finds the LSA, needs to try and body block up the Drow Ranger, so Repeater is going to be able to close the distance. But here come the TP rotations. Fnatic, can they get there in time? Jab's going to sidestep off the LSA. Now they're going to try and double back and turn. Repeater will be able to get the TP. No way to be able to cancel that. They didn't have enough damage as well, but it looks like BDZ, well aware, he'll also TP out. The volleys just not enough damage at the moment. Although meanwhile, down bot, Masteros, he just gets a solo kill. He does commit all his remnants though. Flame Guard's about to wear off too. Did the Phantom Lancer can brawl. Not going to continue chasing there, so that's a solo kill for Masros on the Undying.
Doing really nicely. The Slider had the Mango available, didn't choose to pop it to try and get the burst in onto Raven. Means that they missed the Light Strike array, missed that attempt for the kill. He'll be kicking himself a little bit there, because with how effective Masros is being in this offlane, you do need to make sure that you're curbing Raven's impact.
Well, they're going to try and attempt once again, but Raven's still got the Iron nearby, so I don't know if you get this kill. Now, you got to be careful how far you overcommit, because Raven's also got the level 6, so if they get out of range, they're going to be able to turn. DJ finds a slow Raven, trying to kite this. There's the marksmanship, and the damage is going to be there this time. Now, BTS's going to be careful as well. Try and give DJ some extra movement speed. The Chen is unfortunately on cooldown, so Lena's going to be able to scurry away, but... And beautiful placement there from Jabs, really just protecting the Drow Ranger, and that's just an extra death here up top.
Good timing to come in as well by DJ. Make sure he gets off that enchant, slows him down. It was nicely played by VDZ as well. I thought it was a little odd that Rapido decided to try and make the engagement go then, because he had a double creep wave coming into his tower. So BDZ actually made sure that he was able to redirect that, make it not just feed immediately underneath the tower. So now Rapido is at least able to be farming underneath and relatively safely.
See, at the moment, it looks like Masros kind of just taken over this bottom side. He's top of the net worth on the Ember.
Is under attack.
He's going to try and continue starting to shove the lane in. Got to keep in mind that Radiant, you know, until they kind of get some extra abilities, or at least some help in some items, I should say, it's going to be very difficult for them to control up Masros.
Yeah, he might even look for an aggressive movement towards Yori as well after he takes this wave plus the small camp. No, he's just going to go. He's got those 4 points into the flame guard. So
Radiant,
it's deadly.
Attempting to infiltrate. I wonder if Dai want to double back here. They got the ward on the high ground. If Masros comes over, if they kite this fight a little deep and can kind of maybe even have the Drow sitting on the back, but they drop the ward. Moon's still going to be pretty careful here, Remnant. Sidestep that one, just off the mark. Looks like they just want the stack instead. But do they want to contest this? Moon's long zip. Jump back out here. They still aren't coming over with Masros, so looks like they're really not thinking about taking this engagement.
That Observer Word providing a lot of information. DJ was ready to come in and help influence the team fight, but of course just not wanting to run into 4 heroes on Execration's side.
That's the ward as well from Jabs. Gets the Observer Ward away instantly, so now that's going to kind of limit the vision that Execration are going to be able to dish out. We saw them trying to infiltrate and really disrupt the stacks that, you know, Storm Spirit likes to take so often. And, you know, Raven's already up to farming over the Ancients, has the Iron Talon, even the help of Jabs, and, you know, this is a pretty early level 6 as well from your Ira. Even the Enchantress at decent timing at the moment as well, so we'll potentially see these early relocates to help find the kills. And they've got a lot of mobility though, like Storm and Ember across the map now, Ira with the relocate potential, so you know, they might be able to get a couple of pick-offs soon.
And that's the bonus of having this IO to help out the Ember Spirit in the lane, especially if you get a couple of these kills. All you need against a PL is levels right now. You've got that Flame Guard maxed out. He's going to have to be a little bit careful. 4 heroes here, but they missed this crush onto him, so he's going to be able to get away. Straight back down to the bottom side. Siege creep available. 4 heroes. They're pretty happy with how this is all going, and halfway towards the mechanism as well on Jab, so that Buckler's going to do a lot of good to be able to just assist with these creeps staying alive.
Structures are fortified.
PL has also had a pretty good time so far, top of the net worth, and he's trying to get closer and closer towards the Diffusal Blade, which will allow him to show up to fights a little bit earlier than what you would expect if he went for like a Yasha, just to more increase his farm. And yeah, this Phantom Lancer is going to be a big threat as the game goes on. Relocate up top.
Just fixing the lanes a little bit, not going for any sort of kill. Maybe a little bit premature on it. The multi-shot wasn't quite available yet, so he's actually just going to reload back as it comes off cooldown. But, I mean, we can spin that in a good way. He's just going to push out this bottom lane really fast. Not opting to use it straight away, though. Wants to, well, okay. A little surprised that he does, because you want to try and maybe keep that siege creep alive. Force a bit more of the reaction to the bottom side when you've got your own creep wave alongside it to tank up some of those tower hits.
And imagine if they had reload right now with Moon's Arcane Rune. Really would be nice to be able to find the kill on Repeater, who just misses the timing with the crush, although Moon's still getting very aggressive here without the Vortex used early,
Nicely
but
done.
he's just got the damage, those overload procs to the help of the Remnant. An Arcane Rune really paying out to play there, just the cooldown reduced on the abilities, enable him to find that kill. So it's a big one for Moon here. He's 2-1 at the moment, 90. 4 last hits, 95, so he's getting closer to a couple of these early items. And we see Dire as well. They've got some very nice vision at the moment, kind of the that line drawn from the bot side all the way to the river, really just kind of protecting their bottoms half of the map and making it very difficult for Execration to find their movements inside the triangle too.
There is
Radiant's bottom
no
tower
unknown
is under
information
attack.
right now for Fnatic. They know where everyone is. It's just this tiny little pocket of the Radiant Tri-Camp. That's the only place that these heroes could be if they're not in vision right now. So really well done by DJ to be able to have that. Contrast that to Execration's vision, and it's basically, oh, we know the safe space where we're playing right now. And that's about
Radiant
it.
are
We've got a smoke coming
scanning.
through here. Asaros, he's smoked up on his own. No, he's got DJ alongside of him. Don't think he's got any... No creep alongside him as well, though, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to try and take out this PL just with the two of them.
This is a hard kill.
Reload.
If they can, I mean, do they want to dive onto the T2 tower? Phantom Lens is going to try and juke with the illusions. Nicely done. Gives him some space. Now Mastros as well is completely out of mana. This Diffuser Blade being able to burn them down, but the Phantom Lens, so they found the real one. Tombstone up with the high ground. Fnatic, they've dived too far. DJ's going to attempt the TP out. Is a way to cancel it. They've left Moon as well, but he's got some mana into the zip. Fnatic, somehow they all make it out.
Very ballsy.
That was, I mean, that was right before Mastros picked up the Maelstrom, which would have just been a much easier way to find the real PL, and diving deep like that could have been incredibly costly considering, you know, that's a high risk kind of play from them, and now you see Radiant, they're actually going to try and to smoke up now for an answer.
Yeah, like you mentioned, that Maelstrom would have been potentially very effective. Jabs as well, only 200 gold away from Mech. Who are they finding
found
here? Oh, not
Mr.
Raven.
Jar's in trouble. Nicely done with the silence. It's going to give him some protection to be able to turn. Now
nicely done
Jabs
by
turns
Moon.
over, just gets the silence off before the follow-up stun. And now Ken's in trouble. He's already used all the ultimate charge. I have no idea how Raven got off the gust there, but it just enabled Fnatic to TP in and secure 3 kills, you know, punishing that aggressive movement.
It's all about Moon. He was there, he followed up, he was instant to zip in, made sure the Light Strike array didn't come off after the combinations through from the
Radiant's
Slider
middle
and the
tower
Void
is under
Spirit.
attack.
Amazing play by him,
Radiant
allows the Wisp to
structures
link
are
up, the Gust to
fortified.
go off, and, well, if the Drow has no one hitting her, she is pretty damn happy. So, real heads-up plays coming through.
I'm going to try and defend the tower here from Execration, but still got to be careful how far they want to continue, because Dire have a ward on the high ground as well, but they're not really grouped up. Just want the bounty. Jabs is... See if he gets one with the shovel as well. No, he's not going to. So, I mean, Radiant are all coming down bot, but they might actually get no bounties here, as already Fnatic is set up there. Jabs won't be able to get the secondary one at the top side, but who do they found though? Jabs in trouble after the reload.
Radiant's bottom tower
Got the tether away. Repeater's going to try and reveal the blink.
That's
Now,
the
how
blink
far
reveal,
do you want to dive? Because you're slowed up for the volley. And with the rotations that are coming through, they want to try and get involved here and punish another deep attempt. But now Ken finds Enchantress off to the side. This turn, they won't have a way to be able to disrupt the LSA follow-up here. But they are going to try and at least get the creep shoved in mid, so Execration won't be able to get an objective after the pick-off there, but they're still hunting. Repeater on top of the side, finds the IO. It's allowing Raven to go to work, and once again with the silence, holds on to 2. They're straight on top and over the Phantom Lands along with Camp, but it's going to get a mass amount of heal thanks to Jab's mechanism. Now they're going to turn. Mastros controlling him in with the 2-man chance. Repeater is still going to try and go to work. They deal with the IO, but Moon, he's got a triple kill, and they're not done just yet. Phantom Lancer tries to utilize that rush, but he's on the high ground. And they have a way to cancel this. Vortex just in the nick of time. Fnatic, they punish once again. 5-man wipe, and we're just seeing, I mean, these silences are really preventing, and the IO, the amount of sustain. If you don't burst them down, if you don't kill this IO, then, you know, diving incredibly deep like that just gets even more difficult.
If you've ever played Team Fortress, hit the little guy with the beam, essentially, is the strat, because Raven had no right to live in that team fight. You know, he had the IO linked up to him, he had his mechanism on cooldown. By the way, relocating on top of BDC, they'll be able to take out this tower with the help of the siege creep,
They
although
might lose a couple of heroes though. Execration are coming. Oh, actually, maybe I'm going to force it.
they're just going to
Alright.
reload back out, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't have the burst without Lina. Nice try. But yeah,
Radiant's middle
full
tower
wand,
is under attack.
mechanism. I mean, if they stopped going on him, he even had a healing salve throughout all of that.
Aura still in the level 5 repeater. He's going to try and counter-initiate, but Moon's still got enough mana to be able to follow up. Ken's coming over and get the Euro Scepter. Moon actually might be in trouble here. Not enough mana now to jip out afterwards, and Storm will fall. I was just about to say, we might be seeing the first game of Storm being able to find a victory throughout the group stages so far, but he's going to end up dropping, unfortunately. That does give a lot of gold over to the Phantom Lancer, 563.
Might even result in them losing this tier 1 tower as well. Not sure how I feel about the Storm being locked on the Agi treads throughout all of that gank, but he tried his best to be able to get away. You can't fault his early game other than that. So, oh, they're making another movement in here onto DJ. He takes an absolute chunk there.
That Bash just kind of shred him down. Conqueror's done a little bit too late. So that's another kill for Execration. Now it's going to allow them to try and shove out the lanes through these little pickoffs and still delaying it for the Phantom Lancer to be able to find the items now. It's got the Diffusal, the Hood completed. We do see, though, Raven still sitting pretty comfortably on the top of the net worth.
Sitting comfortably. Jabs is doing a good job, again, getting these stacks off for him. Nice little bonus for the IO as well. He's going to be getting closer and closer to that Ring of Tarask. Always going to be really helpful just to increase the sustain potential for Raven. One up for Ambrace too.
Oof. Robo for the Drow. That's going to be pretty nice here. Moon's even got the Pupil's Gift as well, so just got that Orchid delivered, gets a solo kill on the Lina. Now he's got 2k HP as well on the Strength Tread, so we'll see how many aggressive moves the Storm can make. Really needs to kind of hunt the Lina throughout these fights and try and kind of disrupt the follow-up stun lock that they are requiring here to be able to lock in the Fnatic lineup. And even Mastros, what's he got? 3,300 gold in the bank, so a lot at the moment he hasn't committed for the BKB or the Aghanims just yet. They're attempting Roche. I mean, I guess they got the Corrosive Haze, but with no one defending bot, it might get pretty obvious soon. Someone's pinging it out. I'm not sure if it's Mastros or not, though. This is taking a bit too long. Surely Dire are going to know.
Well, they're either going to know or they're going to take the tier 2 and still be able to get tested.
Well, they're going to have to go now. No one does anything. No one's showing in the lane. Like, this is... The pings are finally coming through, but it's now being claimed. It took them ages, but Phantom Lancer will be able to pick up that extra life for him to be able to utilize. And, well, Fnatic do get the tier 2 tower right by that 20-minute mark, so they're going to be able to control both the outposts here at least.
Small victories. Yeah, the outpost really impactful, especially considering how underleveled this Undying is. Level 7, nearly at the 20-minute mark. You would want to be approaching around that level 10 point at this stage because, especially as you've got the Aegis, you want to be fighting as much as possible. You've got that small advantage there.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Okay. It's BDZ that picks it up. I suppose the arcane, the cast range is going to be quite nice, combined together with the Aether Lens. So that little bit of extra range, maybe catching out the IO. I hope with their team comms that they're going to be focusing a lot more and bringing down the medic there. And well, BDZ, he's finished a lot up. He's level 10 now. Looks like they're keen to group up at Smoke with this Aegis that's just been picked up by the PL, looking to go to the same side of the map as him. It's just going to be all down to the support hero placement right now.
Oh,
Will they be able to be on the top
lane? They're going to be able to chain lock him down here. Nice smoke gank. Mastros tries to get there. He's a little bit too late. Still has the Aghanim, so bouncing back in and out. Wants to go follow up with an extra remnant, but perfect crush finds a combo now with the LSA. 8th, the remnant. Do they have the damage? You got to break him down. Jab's going to come through with the mech now. Do they want to turn? Moon is going to buy back. They want to rejoin the fight here with the volleys from downtown. They've already been able to find 2 heroes in Execration, make it 3 as a buyback, allowing them to be able to continue chasing Execration. They want to rejoin the fight here, Phantom Lancer, so has his extra life to be able to utilize. You've got to be careful, Fnatic, how deep you want to try and play, but they find the Void Spirit straight on top of Jabs, the medic. In trouble, gets the reload, it's going to provide some space to Execration.
And they're going to be able to get out. Yeah, 2 buybacks.
It's a big fight there. I mean, we just see that Ember Aghanim's just got picked up, and you know, what he was able to dish out there through that engagement really made it difficult for Execration with their positioning. And well, they're holding the high ground. DJ might be in some trouble here, although Dire simultaneously running up through the middle, and now they're gonna Masteros on top of the backline here. Funzy Undying jabs. Is falling low. Moon's gonna go in at the last second. The Orchid finds the slaughter. Phantom Lancer, can he do it all by himself? Because he's even gonna lose his extra support. Now he's gonna try and turn Storm completely out of mana, but it doesn't matter. They've already been able to deal with all the illusions now with the extra life.
They got the gust as well.
Spirit's down still for an extra 5 seconds. Not that it really would have done anything. So the timing from Raven's Gust, with no Manta available here, is going to be able to secure the kill after the ages, and Fnatic are continuing to look dominant in this second game.
Not too much more that can be said about that. You know, it's just using their timings a lot more effectively. You might think that losing the Roshan is you know, a negative, but when you're taking a tier 2 tower, when you're getting the experience advantage from taking the outpost prior to the 20-minute mark, it's a trade that you're more than happy to make. You know, you pick this Undying to enable your strengths in team fights, but if you're not able to get off any spells or your tombstone's just doing nothing, you don't really care all that much about it. And Masteros is playing a fantastic game, it has to be said.
Yeah, I'm incredibly impressed about how well this Ember has performed so far throughout this game. I mean, I was worried that he might not have as many items to help deal with the Phantom Lancer, but we see, you know, it's really starting to come through. Even Drow's itemizing as well, going for the Aghanims next, so it's just going to further enable them to deal with the illusions. Now, look at the positioning on the high ground. Moon tries to jump forward, has got the DD if they can find the real Phantom Lancer if they want to go, but just still holding their high ground. Moon's got to be careful though, because the illusions are scouting. They're going to move away from their own ward, but they want to continue holding as the smoke's going to pop from Ara. Where's the vision coming through if Masteros wants to jump? They don't have that tier 2 mid.
I don't know why they're looking to take a fight right now on Execration. They are 150 gold away from finishing up this Manta style. Only 60 gold away now from Yori. So you need that for this team fight. You saw in the last one how vulnerable he was when he has to save that doppelganger for the Gust. Now he's going to have a second way to break out of it. So there's a small potential for them to come back into this, and they could even potentially go for the straight smoke afterwards.
Void Spirit is very close to the Aghanims too, so if they're going to be able to get that item pretty shortly here, then they're going to have some pretty big timings come out, which could allow them to at least take a successful fight here. But the only issue is that Fnatic have done a very good job to kind of just pincer them inside this inside the base here. And you take a look at the vision that Fnatic once again have an advantage of, where you're pretty much seeing every opportunity on where Execration could be farming.
True. I mean, with Execration, it's not like they have to make a move, though, right? You know that there's no Roshan.
There we go. Reload's going to come out. Now, the zip forward. Massive silence on top of the backline. It's a decent two-zone on the high ground, but it's not going to matter. Instantly, Fnatic are able to deal with it. Now, with the Phantom Lancer, it's going to go to work, but it's just himself now as Execration. They lose all the rest of the heroes. Jabs tries to get the relocate out. He's going to be able to keep his life, and now PL just cannot man-mode. A nice attempt with the illusion bait, but Execration have lost 4. They might even lose Ken as well. DJ is hunting. They don't have extra lockdown. He's also got that ultimate charge. Man, Fnatic are just... They're bringing everyone down, leaving the Phantom Lancer till loss, and they are just, you know, shining in this game.
I mean, you don't really care all that much about a Phantom Lancer if you've got an Ember Spirit the whole time that's got 780 magic absorb. So that's always just going to be ticking away onto these illusions. Yes, it's nice that you got the Manta style now for that little bit of extra stats, and the real winner there was being able to take out the Tombstone immediately. They had about 5 seconds left on that Observer Ward on the high ground that's just expired. So just little things going in Fnatic's favor. But now you've got that Ag Scepter completed for Ken. I think one last team fight they've got to be able to try and turn this around. Here we go. PL respawns, trying to push the lanes out as much as possible, find the pickoff. That's mission number 1.
So without the vision though, they might see them in the lane up top. Yeah, they're going to see Raven and Jabs there, but this... Fnatic have, you know, been able to accumulate such a high lead at the moment where it just makes it very difficult for Execration to be able to make these plays. You see how confident they are being able to push out the lanes. Just Raven and Jabs taking the tier 2. The rest of the team finally going to link up with them. But you know, Masteros is level 20. He's got that extra plus 65 Sleight of Fist hero damage, and it's just going to further increase. Oh, they get the crush and the silence. LSA follow up with a 4-star. It's going to give him some space here. Now they use both the Resonant Pulse charges, and Ken's going to be careful. Got an ultimate out with slows and chains from Masteros.
So much damage.
Both in. Just look at the follow-up here. Even Storm's going to try and zip on the backline. He's found the slaughter. There's no extra help coming through from Execration. They got to even be careful if they show their own faces here up on the high ground, as they could just get jumped instantly as Fnatic. I mean, 3 down once again. They're going to walk up the high ground here, and Raven now going to work on the tier 3 tower.
Is under attack.
Yeah, no tombstone that fight, no flesh golem. Just means that the Undying is able to get burst down super quick. Oh, they're even going in deep again onto the Lina, and it's just one of these things where, like, you can see what he's trying to build into. He's got the Staff of Wizardry prepped, whether that's for a eventual build into a Yule Scepter, or if it's just for a 4-staff, who knows. But I feel like when you're at this point, when you're just being run at and killed at the start of every single fight before you're able to get off your combo, you gotta just go into and be adaptable. Like, build a couple of braces, so at least you're living for that little bit longer. You give the Undying time to try and heal you up. You know, take a little bit more focus off the rest of your cores. Maybe you kill the IO and things can turn in your favor. But just Fnatic, kudos to them for keeping the pressure up.
Uh-oh, they scan exactly where the Phantom Lancer is, so they're going to be able to move forward on Moon. Instant silence. And I mean, just beautiful understanding of where the PL is going to be farming. That scan just finds the kill. Now they can just go back in mid as well. Raven 4-stuffs aggressively on the high ground. Rips through the armor of the Undying. His health evaporates, and Fnatic are just, you know, continuing to stay in the base after those pickoffs.
Doesn't even let him get a single D ward. It's just not fair. Even with the Acceptor now on the Drow Ranger, so able to deal with the PL when he is eventually a factor with the Maelstrom.
Is under attack.
Well, Fnatic, 30,000 net worth lead is a 100% probability at the moment. Execration, the back's against the wall here in this second game, and I mean, it's looking pretty grim at the moment. There's, at least in Dota Plus regard, no hope of them being able to take it. We'll see if they can kind of craft up at least 1% with the high ground defense, as Ken's going to go forward, Drow. Although just being able to sit so far in the front, they even just relocate just in case. Going to give them absolutely no opportunity. Drop the ward though. They want to really try and punish this relocate back in. They're going to go forward now, but the LSA, it's a little bit off the time queue. Now Moon's going to try and counter up. The Aghanim's freshly picked up. The Vortex dragging back 2. They drop the Tombstone at least, but look at Mastros on top of the backline. Finds the squishy Lina, just not allowing her to freely dish out the abilities. And you know, it might be time here from Execration. It's been a masterclass performance from Fnatic. It's a long zip in from Moon. The buybacks are coming through, but no more are available at the moment here. As Moon, does he get... No! Oh, what?
What? He went back and he got taunted in his own base. All right.
Dota?
Volvo?
It's a beta game. Got to keep that in mind.
Oh, true. But yeah, Mastros there, just using his refresher shard, making sure that, refresher orb, making sure he has 2 versions of that 780 magic. Absorb means that he's always able to output damage onto Radiant.
Is this where you want to be, Mastros? Gonna get stunned up here, the crush follow as well, but they're unable to burn enough mana. We just haven't seen the Phantom Lens to be able to right click for long enough to really utilize the diffusal. And I mean, it's getting to the stage where how long are you gonna stay in this game? And it looks like that's not long enough. As Execration, they're gonna be forced to tap out of here. The team that was on top of the groups heading into day 4, but Fnatic put on a masterclass performance in this series.
They do indeed, and fix up their score a little bit as well. They were 2-4 leading into this one, so 4-4 result for them now. Looking a whole lot healthier, and well, as has been the case, it's just very even across the board. You know, it's kind of the triangle relationship, like so-and-so team beats so-and-so, but they can't beat this other team. It's keen to see how it's all going to flesh out as we get further and further in, where after this next series, we're going to basically be right at the halfway point of the group stages. So there'll be a lot of information to be able to gather from that.
Yeah, what a beautiful performance from Fnatic. I was incredibly impressed. I mean, with that Ember play, I had my doubts with it. You know, it's a great way to deal with the PL, but, you know, playing it as a position 3. But, man, Mastros, you know, the unconventional, and, you know, this gives them a lot of flexibility heading into drafts when you're able to play heroes like that in roles where you wouldn't really expect. And also, I was very impressed with Moon's performance throughout this series as well. Really dominated, you know, the Storm this game, the Leshrac last game as well. So, you know, Fnatic, they did verse 3 very difficult teams in their first, you know, couple of series. It was against TNC, Motivate, and also the boys on T1. So now, Execration were no joke though. They're on top of the table. So the fact that they're able to 2-0 them will give them a little bit more momentum heading into the later stages here. But it's been a pretty fast first series here. We're going to have, what do we got? We got Motivate up against Neon as our next one. So both those teams are 2-4 map count. So looking to continue getting a little bit of separation here.
Yeah, I'm keen for it. Team's hungry for a victory. That's always what you want to see. So should be a short break, 7 or 8 minutes or so, and we'll be right back.